Today for state history, we're going to be talking about the flower, the motto, the bird, and our state song. So we're going to be covering pages 11 and 13. So we're going to learn the flower, the motto, the bird, and the song. After this, I want you to be able to tell me what's our flower, our motto, our bird, and our song. Okay, we'll start with the flower. So you can see on page 11, if you're there in your state history book, the state flower is the mountain laurel. The state flower is the mountain laurel. Now, when I think of laurel, not to get off topic, but I think of a couple years ago when there was that recording that said laurel, and some people could hear Yanny. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it just made me laugh last night. It's the mountain Yanny. Just kidding. It's the mountain laurel. If you have the pages that I told you could have, you don't need these, but if you had the pages on www.kids.ct.gov, you would find this on page 2, and you could cut it out. This is what this one person that did this project for me did. And this is the flower. Look how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful pink and white flower. Has these beautiful blossoms. I'm going to read about it right here from this page to tell you a little bit more about the mountain laurel. Now, if you're writing this down on your book, mountain laurel is spelled M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N space L-A-U-R-E-L. Now, this was designated as the state flower by the General Assembly in 1907. The mountain laurel is perhaps the most beautiful of Native American shrubs. Its fragrance and the mass richness of its white and pink blossoms so vividly contrast with the darker colors of the forest and the fields that they have continually attracted the attention of travelers since the earliest days of our colonization. Have you ever seen a mountain laurel? I don't know if I could say that I have, but maybe you have, and if you have, you can tell me about it. Let's see, first mentioned in John Smith's General History in 1624, specimens were sent to Linnaeus. He's a famous botanist, by the Swedish explorer Peter Kalm in 1750. Linnaeus gave it the name Kalmia latifolia, honoring the guy, Peter Kalm, who brought it to him. And it also describes a wide-leaf characteristic of the plant. In addition to being called the mountain laurel, it is also referred to as the calico bush and spoonwood. So this is the mountain laurel, also called calico bush and spoonwood, and it's so pretty because if it's found in the forest and you can see all these darker colors, and then it's just like a pop of pink and white. It's beautiful. So that's our state flower. Connecticut state flower is the mountain laurel. Now we're going on to the motto. And I love our motto, but we will be talking more about it later when we talk about the seal and the flag. But for right now, I'm just going to introduce this to you. This is tough to say, so just be careful, okay? So I'll have to be careful myself. This is Latin, and our motto is, you ready? It's qui transtulit sustinet. Qui transtulit sustinet, or sustinet. Either one is fine. Qui transtulit sustinet. Can you try to say it with me? All right. Qui transtulit sustinet. Qui transtulit sustinet. And if you want to spell it, if you're writing it down, our motto is qui, Q-U-I, then space, transtulit, which is T-R-A-N-S-T-U-L-I-T. Transtulit. And then space, and then our next word is sustinet. S-U-S-T-I-N-E-T. Qui transtulit sustinet, which means he who transplanted still sustains. And the seal that goes with the motto was actually first seen in 1639, and it was brought from England. In 1775, they explained the motto, which is really cool. He says, "We fix our standards and drums, the colony of arms, with the motto, Qui transtulit sustinet," which means God who transplanted still sustains. So if you're writing on here, you could write our state's motto. Our state's motto is Qui transtulit sustinet, which means he who transplanted still sustains. So what does that mean? Well, transplanted. Have you ever seen a flower or a tree? Maybe a flower. Let's go with flower that maybe your mom got for Mother's Day or a present. And she took that flower that you gave her and she replanted it into different soil, maybe outside. Have you ever seen that? That's the whole meaning of transplant. Maybe you made a little tree, and once it grew like this big, you decided, okay, I'm gonna go plant it outside now. So one day I could have avocados or peaches. Well, this is saying they're talking about back when they were in England, and remember, they didn't have religious freedom, and so remember they had to go to the Church of England, and they didn't have freedom to worship God in their own way. Well, they came to America, and it was just a reminder to them of, hey, God who uprooted us and took us from England and brought us over to America, he's still going to sustain us in America. He's still going to provide for us. He's still going to take care of us. Just like he did back in England, he's going to take care of us in Connecticut. Isn't that really cool? I love how our nation was founded on the Bible and with God as our foundation. That's the reason why they came over, so they could have religious freedom. It's just a great reminder that even for us today, no matter what you're facing, no matter how crazy or scary our world looks, God's taken you this far. He's going to take care of you. He's going to provide for you. He's going to sustain you. It's a great motto and a great reminder for us that God's going to take care of us. And that he loves us, and he's sovereign, and he's in control. Our next part, so we have our flower, the mountain laurel. Our motto, Qui transtulit sustinet, or he who transplanted still sustains. And now we're going to talk about our bird. Our state bird is the robin, which we talked about in science class. Its habitat pretty much lives everywhere. It likes earthworms and fruit. It's a medium bird. For comparison, it's about 10 inches long. So it's a little bit shorter than your ruler. It's usually, we use this bird to compare to other birds. So this is the medium bird. Remember, we have the small, the medium, and the large. This one's the medium bird. It's usually the first bird to return north in the spring, and it likes bird baths. This is the state bird of Connecticut, Michigan, and Wisconsin. But you can write down in your book that our state bird is the robin. All right. So, if I were to say, wait, what's our state flower? You should say the mountain laurel. If I said, what's our state bird? You should know it's the robin. You got it. In our motto, you could say, he who transplanted still sustains. I'm not going to make you remember Qui transtulit sustinet, but you could. If you remember it, that's great. All right, go to page 13. Our next part is our state song. This is really cool, although I don't really know why they chose this as our state song. So most states have a state song. Some state songs tell why the citizens love their state. Okay. The author of my state song is, I'll give you who the author is, and we'll see if you can remember way back in history when we talked about this song. The author is Dr. Shuckburgh. So you could put his name down there, Dr. capital Dr. period, Shuckburgh, capital Shuckberg. Dr. Shuckburgh. Now, do you remember what Dr. Shuckburgh wrote? This is a very long time ago. The song's title for Connecticut State Song is Yankee Doodle. What? Yes, it's Yankee Doodle. So you can put it in there. Now remember, what do we do for our songs? Quotation marks. So put quotation marks and put Yankee Doodle, capital Yankee, space, capital Doodle. Yankee Doodle. This is a really old song. It dates really far back, but when it became popular in America was during the Revolutionary War, when the British used it to make fun of the colonists and the way they marched. The British soldiers would make fun of the American colonists because the American colonists couldn't keep a beat and a rhythm. You know, British were very proper and they could keep their rhythm, but colonists would just keep falling out of rhythm, and they, you know, the British with their nice red coats, and the colonists with their homespun and different things. So they were making fun of them. But we ended up making this our song. So here are the words to our song. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. I feel like I can't do this without singing it. Okay, so will you sing it with me? No? Yes, you better. Okay, ready? It's Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, mind the music and the step, and with the folks be handy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I taught that to you in 4th grade about Yankee Doodle with Dr. Shuckburgh, but I did teach it to 2nd grade because it was in a 2nd grade history book. So you might have learned it from a different teacher, but it is Yankee Doodle. That's our state song. Macaroni refers to a fancy overdressed style of Italian clothing popular at that time. So they're like, oh, you stuck it in your hat, and now you said, oh, macaroni, I'm fancy. And so they're using it to make fun of them. And the reason why with this song is because it's dun 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 dun. So it helped them to march. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, if you can keep the timing. So this is our state song, Yankee Doodle. Let's do a quick review before I leave. What is our state motto? Qui transtulit sustenat, or he who transplanted still sustains. What about our state song? Do 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 do. Yankee Doodle, you got it. What about our state flower? It's the mountain laurel. And our state bird, red robin. You got it. Well, that's it for today. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you tomorrow.